So let's talk timeshares. You know, timeshares used to have an appeal, right? The appeal and the sales pitch, because many years ago I sold timeshares. I owned 7 weeks. Corinne and I did. We started buying them in '95, and we had, I don't know, 4 weeks with Marriott, and two with Four Seasons. Then we had one in Mexico, and then of course we had our yacht in the Caribbean, which we used 6 weeks a year. So we had quite the travel life. But at the same token, timeshares today don't make any sense. Okay, now they're still selling you the program, and today it's no longer really centered around weeks. You don't buy a week, you buy points. And a lot of the programs have actually converted from fixed weeks to points. Okay, so that now you can use your points anywhere. It's a much easier way to track it and sell it, because now people are just buying point packages. They can accrue them and then use them to go to hotels or timeshares. And so that was their transitional sales pitch. But Marriott Vacation Club and the Sheraton and the Westin, these guys all still have their programs. A little different in each one. But the big problem, of course, is the timeshares have annual maintenance fees, even for points, okay? So you're buying points at a certain project and you're paying the fees based on that project. And your point value might be a little higher. Like for example, if you buy a timeshare in Hawaii versus one in Vegas, it's going to be a completely, apples and orange comparison. But nonetheless, these maintenance fees are killing people. So today, there's a huge amount of owners that just want to unload their timeshares. When you have a timeshare, I mean, for example, we bought one at Four Seasons, and I won't even mention brand name, there's other ones too, but normally what happens is you buy a timeshare and it starts out with a $600 a year maintenance fee. You say, okay, well, no big deal. Because, then you pay it and then you can use your unit and your week, and it makes sense, right? It's under $100 a night. But all of a sudden, that $600 becomes $2,000, okay, like 10 years later. And you say, holy shit, that's like that's not worth it. I mean, now I got to pay $2,000 a year. And if I pay it and don't use it, I've lost it technically, right? Or I can accrue it. And of course, most people never go anyway. So it's become a real hassle. And so today, you can buy a lot of these timeshares for like $5,000 that used to cost $25,000. Okay, because people just want to get out of the obligation. In fact, we actually get paid to take some of these back, because if you've got 2 weeks of timeshare, and let's say it's costing you $2,000 a week for maintenance fees annually, then you have a $4,000 a year debt. Okay, and over 10 years, that's $40,000 of your income after taxes you have to pay to maintain that for 10 years. Why? So people are willing to walk away from these timeshares. And we came up with a way through the foundation to allow you to donate that timeshare and get that $20,000 tax credit when you can't even sell them for $5,000. And then we take the burden of the maintenance fees. But in exchange, through Sharkster, we're going to package up those timeshares and create vacation packages so we can recoup the $2,000 or whatever the fees are, and provide a vacation to somebody who doesn't own a timeshare but can benefit from the value of it. Because they make a lot of sense from a lodging standpoint. Most of them are 2-bedroom. Most of them have a lockout 1-bedroom thing. There are 3-bedroom family units. They're even as high as 4-bedroom. But we're going after the ones in Hawaii, some of the key projects in Las Vegas, the Aviara Four Seasons down in Carlsbad, and some in Palm Springs near the golf courses. So we're working to get some of those. And over the next year or so, we'll have a lot of owners that are just going to walk from their timeshares. We'll work with them, and they can always come back and rent them back from us if they want to go to their property. So, we're working that out right now. It's kind of one of the things I'm working to develop. It could be good. So timeshares are good. Accommodations are great, and you can actually rent them from a lot of places. We have some sources we can find you a timeshare in Palm Springs for golf, for California, even Hawaii, because let's face it, not everybody goes. And a lot of owners will call and say, hey, can you rent my timeshare? Which we will work with as well, okay? If some of my clients own timeshares, if they can't use them, I try to rent them for them and come up with a package. So it helps them, it helps us, and it's kind of a good deal. Anyway, don't rule out timeshares, just understand what the values are.